Commander Velthor watched the tactical display with mounting despair. The Zalarian defensive lines were collapsing across all fronts. 23 colonies lost in as many days. The Kresh swarm had proven unstoppable, their adaptive biology countering every weapon the Galactic Coalition possessed. Retreat orders confirmed from High Command. His communications officer reported, mandibles clicking nervously. We're to abandon the Tertius system. Velthor's scales darkened with shame. Tertius held 3 billion souls. But what choice remained? The Kresh would assimilate them regardless. Better to preserve the fleet for a last stand at the core worlds. Then the sensor screamed. Unscheduled warp signatures. Dozens of them. The officer's voice cracked. They're not Kresh. Velthor's primary eyes fixed on the display. Ships were materializing behind the Kresh lines. Angular, brutish vessels that looked like they'd been designed by someone who'd only heard ships described secondhand. They bore markings he'd seen only once before in classified briefings about the galaxy's newest spacefaring species. Humans. What are they doing here? Velturbrit. They're barely past fusion drives. This is a restricted war zone. The human fleet didn't wait for permission. They opened fire, but not with the plasma lances or graviton beams the Coalition favored. The humans used kinetic weapons. Metal slugs accelerated to relativistic speeds. Primitive, crude, devastatingly effective. The Kresh bio ships, adapted to absorb energy weapons, had no defense against simple mass traveling at a fraction of light speed. Shells punched through chitin armor like it was paper. Entire Kresh cruisers came apart, their biological systems unable to regenerate from such catastrophic physical trauma. They're not following standard engagement protocols, the tactical officer observed with horror. They're ramming. Velthor couldn't believe it. A human destroyer, engines at full burn, had deliberately crashed into a Kresh hive carrier. The explosion consumed both ships, but the carrier, which had been birthing new attack craft every 6 minutes, was gone. Receiving transmission from Human Fleet Command, communications said. A face appeared on screen. Female, young by human standards, with cold eyes that had seen too much. Captain Emma Rodriguez of the Terran Expeditionary Force. Coalition forces, this is Rodriguez. We're taking tactical command of this engagement. You've been fighting them wrong. Captain, with respect, your species has barely left our solar system. I know, Rodriguez cut him off. Which means we've spent the last century perfecting exactly one thing. Killing each other. We're very good at it. Now shut up and follow our lead. The human fleet reorganized with frightening efficiency. They didn't try to match the Kresh's superior speed or adaptability. Instead, they did something the Coalition had never considered. They fought dirty. Human ships vented atmosphere to create debris fields. They used nuclear mines, radioactive, barbaric weapons the Coalition had banned centuries ago. They broadcast false transponder signals to confuse Kresh swarm coordination. One human frigate even loaded its mass driver with frozen waste before firing it at a Kresh command node. They're using biological warfare, Velthor's science officer reported with disgust. They've modified Earth bacteria to infect Kresh neural networks. It's working, tactical countered. Kresh response time is degrading. Within hours, the tide had turned. The Kresh, accustomed to fighting civilized species bound by rules of engagement and ethical limitations, couldn't adapt to an enemy that simply didn't care about fighting fair. Rodriguez's face reappeared. Commander Velthor, we're going to push them back to their staging ground and collapse it. But we'll need your heavy ships for the final assault. Captain, how did you know to come here? How did you know how to fight them? Rodriguez smiled, but there was no warmth in it. We didn't. But humans have a saying, if you're going through hell, keep going. We've been through our own hell, Commander. We know its language. As the combined fleet prepared for the counteroffensive, Velthor understood something that chilled his blood. The Coalition had been horrified by the Kresh's ruthlessness. They hadn't yet seen what humans were capable of when they decided to win. The Zalarian commander watched the human ships form up, their battle-scarred hulls testament to a species that had clawed its way to the stars through endless conflict. The coalition had spent millennia trying to move beyond violence. Humanity had perfected it, and right now, that made all the difference.